Purvapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadatam Bhuvi Grinantiye Burida Janaha Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, your gospel is like nectar and bliss, showered upon the pain-stricken lives of suffering humanity. It dispels all the sins and misdeeds of life. It brings spiritual welfare in life. The spiritual beauty and prosperity and grace spreads through and through one who listens to your holy message. They are the givers, real givers, who preach and pronounce the nectar of your holy message to the suffering humanity. Peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So, we are reading Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, page 857. And Sri Ramakrishna is that time staying at Sampukur in Calcutta. His throat cancer has aggravated. He has moved from Dakshineshwar, and it will, for two reasons: for getting better treatment, doctors can come anytime, and also the devotees who love Sri Ramakrishna, they can assemble there at his residence of the Sampukur. So it was reading on October 22nd, that entry of October 27, 1885. This is November, no? November. 23. So almost 1 month. Month-wise, but year-wise so much difference. Anyhow, so Sri Ramakrishna was there and addressing some devotee, the householder devotee, Ishan, and Ramakrishna was talking to him. So Ishan put some question, addressing Ishan, a householder devotee. The master said, "Blessed indeed is the householder who performs his duties in the world, at the same time cherishes love for the lotus feet of God." So Sri Ramakrishna started encouraging the devotees who, being in the household life with so much responsibilities and problems, can always try to remember God and repeat God's name. And that discussion went on. So he continues. Once a Bhairavi came to King Janaka's court. At the sight of the woman, the king bent his head and cast his eyes to the ground. At this the Bhairavi said, "O Janaka, even now you are afraid of a woman. Through perfect knowledge, a man becomes like a child 5 years old. He does not know the distinction between a man and a woman." Now Sri Ramakrishna is talking about a condition of Janaka. Janaka is the king Janaka. He was the king, at the same time Brahma-jnani. So, but he was in the ruling, so one day, one Bhairavi, Brahmani, not Brahmani, Bhairavi, Brahmani of course, they will be Brahmanis. Anyhow, so those who teach Tantra, practice of Tantra, and he entered into the palace, and looking at the woman entering into it, he is a Brahma-jnani, so he is bending his eyes down, not looking at her. And that, seeing that, the Bhairavi then asked, "O Janaka, O king, you are a Brahma-jnani, no? Even now you are afraid of women. That means, have you any distinction like that? What type of Brahma-jnana? Brahma-jnana means what? It's called Samadarshan, seeing the oneness, no? Swamiji also faced the same challenge, no? When the Khetri, in the courthouse of Khetri, Swami Vivekananda was very much honored by the king. And there was one lady who had to dance in the courthouse. Court dancers are there. So as soon as that lady is coming, so Swamiji didn't want to stay Monk should not watch the dance of a woman, no? An orthodox style of thinking is that. But that's true for ordinary sadhakas, ordinary monks. They should keep this respectful distance, not to be away from them. Because their mind maybe lust will generate in the mind. Not the fault of the dancer, but in the heart of the mind of the student. So even now you can go to India's Orthodox monastic tradition. They will behave little which is we cannot understand why they are doing. But the question is that maybe in the student life, yes, you should take some precaution to keep some respectful distance and honor things that my mom, my sister, like that spiritual attitude. So that you are not trapped into the fall, trapped into the mire of ignorance, maya. But Swamiji was not coming. And that lady, when she understood that Swamiji is not, because she is a woman and she will be dancing in the courthouse, so Swami Vivekananda is not coming. So she started singing and dancing and singing a song. Oh, Prabhu mere abaguna chito nadharo samudarshi hai नाम तिहारो चाहे तो पार करो अवगुण चित न धरो. Oh Lord, don't see at the fault of this, no? Don't look at the faulty side of, I am a court dancer, my life is not so pure, but don't look at that. You are Samadarasi, you are a Brahma-jnani. You see equanimity in everywhere. So why are you seeing difference in me? And he gave the example, then the song is beautiful song. Eko luha, the same knife may be kept in a slaughterhouse, no? Slaughtering meat. And the same knife may be kept into the temple for chopping vegetables, making fruits, plates for the Lord, no? But the touchstone, there is a stone, is philosopher's stone. Philosopher's stone is such, you touch, anything you touch, it touches, it becomes gold. So when the philosopher's stone touches the knife in the slaughterhouse or the knife in the temple, does not each get transformed into gold? So why are you making a distinction? Huh? And that, it hit the heart of ears of Swami Vivekananda, and then he came out and then was present there and blessed that lady. No? So this is the point. In a Brahma-jnani, if you are a knower of Brahman, there should be no distinction. In the eyes of a knower of Brahma-jnana means samadarsana. Sama means equanimity in vision. They don't see the outward form and name. They see the content. Satchidananda content everywhere, no? They don't see the waves, how it varies, but made of water. Water, this is water, that is water, that is water. Or H2O, H2O everywhere. These are some examples. So, you are a Samadarshi, you are a Brahma-jnani par excellence, Janaka. So, you should not make a distinction like that. Why are you bending your head? And giving an example, Ramakrishna gives this example. See, this child, a baby, has no idea of men and women. So, no one feels shy in presence of a baby. But an adult, yes, we are shy. Modesty is there, we like, dislike, all these things are there. Because it is in the mind of the person. A very important point. The baby has mind totally free from idea of sex. It has not entered into mind, he does not know, he cannot discriminate. For him or her, the baby, it matters little who is what. But for adult we have, because we have generated that samskara. And that is the cause of our suffering. That's why the world is all God. All problem is our own mind. A person of pure mind sees God everywhere, Impure mind sees evil everywhere. Evil-minded person sees evil everywhere. That means it is the mind, lens of mind through which you see the world. That's the whole spiritual life is nothing but purification of the mind. Chitta Shuddhi, purification of the chitta, mind, your understanding. It will be simultaneously. If it is done, mind is purified, your understanding will be clear. Your ego will be purified. Your memory will be pure memory. Otherwise vulgar memory will come. People live in vulgar memory. No. Because their mind is impure, that brings similar thing. And that's why it is chitta is a package. Mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. Man, mind, buddhi, the intellect, chitta, the remembering faculty, the ego. As much purity comes in any level, it impacts all the four. Or impurity comes in one, it impacts all the places. Ego, your memory, your intelligence, and your mind. So that's the point Sri Ramakrishna pointed out, that it is through perfect knowledge a man becomes like a child. Only when one attains to that wisdom, that knowledge of perfection, or Brahma-jnani, or God realization, simply if we say God realization, then becomes like a child of 5 years old. He does not know the distinction between men and women. Although a jnani living in the world may have a little blemish, yet this does not injure him. The moon undoubtedly has dark spots, but these don't, they obstruct its light. So he's saying that sometimes you may see a Noara Brahman, because he lives in the world, he may appear sometimes. We know Brahma-jnanis, we know in our scriptures, Durvasa was the name of a Brahma-jnani. He was an angry guy. Yeah. He can curse you right and left, and then you are doomed. If he curses something, so everyone is to avoid. When Durvasa comes that side, he's a rishi, he's a seer of truth. But he curses. It is, of course, there is justification. Justification is given this. They are pure soul, but they live for the good of others. So seeing some fault in your mind, and when he said, curses you, that means your karma is wiped out quickly. That is the reason they give. But anyway, but who likes a angry Brahma-jnani, no? who likes sweet, loving, caring, that type of people. But the Brahma-jnanis can be of different moods and temperaments, because they live in their own mind back into that. So long he is in samadhi, they are all one. But when he comes down from that level, they live in their mental level. So that's why they have distinction. But that does not bother their knowledge. After realizing God, some souls perform work in order to teach men. Janaka, Narada, and others like them belong to this group. But one must possess power in order to be able to teach others. The sages of old were busy attaining knowledge for themselves, but teachers like Narada went about doing good to the others. They were real heroes. There are certain people, Ramakrishna said, you get a good mango, there are people who release the mango and wipe out the face. But there are people who see it's a sweet mango, tasting something, he wants to share with others. So Brahma-jnani is maybe these two types, he's saying. That some, they are steeped in samadhi and they are all fully satisfied within themselves. But some come back for the good of humanity, like Christ, Buddhas, Ramas, Krishnas, Vivekananda, Brahmananda. This great. They come down and they engage in doing some. Buddha said, I'll be born again and again, no? Bodhisattva state, and come back again for the good of the humanity. Swami Vivekananda said, I will be born again and again to remove the suffering of humanity, to remove the suffering of ignorance from the mind. No? So, That's why there are two categories, that Narada, Janaka, these are the ancient name of the sages. They have realized they are fully satisfied within themselves. They don't need anything. But they, out of their own bounty of love, they try to arouse the consciousness of the divinity in others. That's why they come down and live in the world. They are heroes. A worthless stick floating on the water sinks under the weight of a bird, but a heavy and substantial log floating on the water can support a cow, a man, or even an elephant. That means category, the capacity. That's why it is said, those Brahma-jnani, it's called Brahma-vid. There are category among the knowers of truth. Some are more deep and more profound. So there is a Brahma-vid who knows Brahman. And if they come down, they see Brahman everywhere. Okay? That is achieved. Life's goal is achieved. But there are a category of other knowers of truth who lives in a higher realm and comes down, and for the good of humanity, they serve the humanity. And says that there are two types. Supposing you have seen in a float, in the river or in a stream, there may be one piece of wood, and even one bird, small bird, sits and it drowned. But there are big logs, they are called steamships like that. They can carry themselves, and also many people, many jivas, to the other shore of wisdom and knowledge. A steamboat not only crosses the water itself, but carries many human beings with it. Teachers like Narada may be compared to the heavy log of wood or steamboat. One man, after eating a tasty morsel, removes every trace of it by wiping his face carefully with a towel, lest anyone should know all that. And another again, having got a mango, not only enjoys it himself, but shares it with others. There are two types of the Brahma-jnanis are there. In the Brahma-jnanis also have categories, no? Some Brahma-jnani will be very isolated, they don't want to talk to people. Some people will be always talking to do good to others. No? Both are contributing spirituality to the world, but one is, we like that Brahma-jnani who speaks to us and talks about our problem and gives some solution. No? We will prefer. Swami Sridharananda Swami gave the example, which type of, suppose a holy man has come. In India, there are so many villages, so people walk, the holy people walk from here to there. So one holy man has come in a village. And as he has come, the whole village people, they came and assembled around him. But he does not like to talk much. He is silent. So the villagers come and offer their food and offering, etc., and salute, but he does not speak anything. They sat for some time and they go away. Now, this is also Brahma-jnani, no? One holy man. Another holy man come in the same village. And the villagers came and offered their respect. And then that holy man inquires, hey, how are you? What is going on in your home? Everyone is okay? And somebody cries, no, my son is like that, my daughter is like that, no? And the sadhu, the holy man, is very sympathetic. It's okay, it happens, or give some advice and something like that. Another person, not only that, third person came, third holy man came. He not only inquires, he goes out of the way to go to see that patient, sick patient, and blessing him, praying for him. Which holy man you like out of the three? First one, or the second one, or the third one? Mostly we will say the third one, no? So Brahma-jnanis also have their categories. Some are very satisfied, not to compare who is good or bad, but we like that who comes down to us and shares shares his wisdom or blessing, gives his blessings to person who is suffering in the world and in this going through so much agonies and pain. Ramakrishna continues, even after having attained perfect knowledge, teachers like Narada retain love of God in their minds for the welfare of others. And they don't need anything, but they retain little part because of the love, retain love of God in their mind, and for the welfare of others they go and they preach. That is the point. And because that's why Narada was always carrying a single-stringed instrument and singing the glory of Narayana, Rama, everywhere. Wherever he goes, he pleases and starts singing to create. Ramakrishna, see that Ramakrishna, wherever he is going, creating a spiritual atmosphere, lifting their mind. And though his health is so weak, but he's still going to visit the devotees here and there until he was unable to do. Then the doctor, who is the doctor here? Dr. Sarkar probably, he has come to see him. Yeah, Dr. Sarkar was very busy physician. He spends long hours with Ramakrishna. So Ramakrishna, Dr. Sarkar was also there in this conversation. So now Dr. Sarkar is saying, Janaka makes a man speechless. Jnana makes a man speechless. He closes his eyes and sheds tears. Then he needs bhakti. He says, Jnana, knowledge, makes a man speechless. True, when you tune to that awareness of the divine, then you cannot speak anything. No? Speaking is in the level of body, mind, emotion, the panchakosha. 5 sheets we talk about. Annamaya, when you are in the physical level, in the mental level, in the intellectual level, or in the last level, where almost ego is disappearing. So in that area, people become speechless because the mind is much below. The sense organs are much below. You have transcended those areas and gone up to who will speak what. So Ramakrishna, Dr. Sarkar says, Jnana makes everyone speechless. Therefore he closes his eyes and sheds tears, out of emotion, spiritual emotion. Then he says, then he needs bhakti. That is his explanation, doctor's explanation. Master, Ramakrishna said, bhakti may be likened to a woman who has access to the inner court of a house, and jnana can only go as far as the outer rooms. In Indian house previously, the house is divided into 2 quarters. One is inner quarter, where only the women, they will remain. An outer courtyard, any gentleman comes to meet anyone, they sit there. That was because of British rule, the women were kept aside, Muslim rule, so the protection of the women are put in inner court, So he's saying, bhakti, outside any gentleman comes, he is allowed up to the outer courtyard. But they have no intimacy that much, they can go to the inner quarter. So he says, bhakti can go to inner quarter. Jnana can go up to the outer courtyard. That means he becomes speechless. But the bhakta, real bhakta, they can enter further and enjoy the bliss of God. A man may not know the right path, but if he has bhakti and desires to know God, then he attains Him through the force of sheer bhakti. Once a sincere devotee set out on pilgrimage to the temple of Jagannath in Puri. He did not know the way. He went west instead of south. He no doubt strayed from his right path, but he always eagerly asked people the way, and they gave him the right direction, saying, "This is not the path, follow that path." At last the devotee was able to reach Puri and worship that deity. So you see, even if you are ignorant, someone will tell you the way if you are earnest. What he is saying is very important. You may be not knowing the right path, but if you are sincere, Ramakrishna says, if anyone is sincere, so someone will come in your life and guide you. Move this way, go this way. Only sincere crying and praying for God and to ask Him, "Oh Lord, show me, how shall I reach you?" And those who got mantra initiation, you got some definite direction and things. But those who have not, for them also, if they only simply call upon God, then God sends someone in their life. We all feel that, no? In your life you will find some friend came in your life, just told you about some spiritual life, or inspired you to. It is actually, you think that your friend came and he did it. It is not your friend's greatness. God arranges such thing because of your sincerity. Sri Ramakrishna says that. That's why it is more important that the bhakti to devotion and pray, to pray God with sincerity, that, "Oh Lord, please show me the way. I want to reach you." Even if we get mantra and do, we cannot practice. There is also important bhakti to pray, "Oh Lord, give me strength, give me power so that I can think of you. I can keep my mind on you. I don't get us." The mother, every time they pray Ramakrishna's prayer, "Oh my mother, I throw away myself at your whole hallowed feet. I may have love on what is that? So I may have. So now I am talking about the exact wording, so I am not collecting that. Anyhow, so praying for real devotion. "Oh Ma, I don't want anything. I don't want occult powers. I don't want any other earthly anything. Give me love, give me devotion, so that I can only think of you." So that prayer, and the whole Christian world, look at that. It stands on the prayer. No? Mostly they emphasize on the prayer part. And God listens. Ramakrishna also said, if the prayer is very sincere, that God listens to the prayer and fulfills our needs and desires. But the devotee in his ignorance did lose his way. Master, yes, such a thing happens, no doubt, but a man reaches the goal in the end. Suppose what we used to do, now GPS is guiding all the time now, no? So nowadays people don't think about anything. Just put the address and then start, and right and left. It will tell you 2 times, 3 times, "Hey, take a right turn. Hey, take a right turn. Don't left, go this way. Keep left. Another few exit is coming. Don't go." So a good guide, no? But in early days, see, you are driving. What you do? I used to write down all the left, where to left, what to right, all these things. What the machine is telling. So we used to take that way. Or if you don't do that, then you go after a certain distance and go to the McDonald's or to the gas station and then start asking, "I want to go this address, where is that?" And that is the way we used to do. But sometimes this is misguided. Some gas station person, he does not know that he does not know well, but he said, yes, go this way. So you go and drive after 10, 20 miles, then you go, and then you say, where are you going? Then you inquire in another gas station. You came wrong. So you have to go this way. So this spiritual life also. If Ramakrishna says, even if you don't have a good guide, but if you are sincere and you are asking how to reach the destination, how to reach the, someone will come in life and then guide you. A devotee has got a form or he is formless? This is eternal question. Has got form or is formless? Because that was that time Keshav Sen Brahma movement was going on in India, and also Indians are worshipping gods and goddesses, idols, clay model, no? We call clay models in the language of those who don't understand the philosophy of worship, they will say, we are just worshipping some clay. You offer something to the clay and make an image of the clay, Ma Durga, Ma Kali, Ma Saraswati, Lakshmi, or you are doing Shiva, these, that, all clay, or made of metal, or made of wood. And then you, after worshipping, throw away into the water. What type of it? So that was idolatry. That was the concept. Even many people now have the idea Hindus are idolaters, because idol worship, but not understanding its spiritual essence. So they say, so that then that's why God is in the form. Millions of people in India, you go, millions, how many millions of people are worshipping every day Lord Shiva, Mother Kali, Ma Durga, no? These are all made in clay or in stone or made of wood also, no? So it is a, how God can be this? And you say, no, God is Nirakar, has no form. It is all consciousness, it is beyond your mind. So God is really what? Is this form or the formless? That conflict continues, no? Sri Ramakrishna solved that because Ramakrishna says, God has form, and again, he is formless. Once upon a time, a sannyasi entered in a temple of Jagannath in Puri. Jagannath means, Jagat means the world. Nath means the Lord of the world, no? Jagannath, you know Jagannath, have you seen Jagannath's image? The hand is cut, as it were. No fingers or anything. It's like two hands protruding like that. Eyes, we have eyelid. Jagannath has no eyelid. Chakkana, you know, it's a round eyes only, eyeball you can see like that. So Ramakrishna says that Jagannath, he looked, and he went to visit that Jagannath, the Lord of the world. As he looked at the holy image, he just debated within himself whether God had a form or was formless. He passed his staff, walking stick. The sadhus carry a walking stick. So he was carrying a walking stick, and he just passed his staff from left to right and to feel whether it is touched the image. The staff touched nothing. He understood that there is no image before him. He concluded that God was formless. Next, he passed his staff from right to left. It touched the image. The sannyasi understood that God had form. Thus he realized that God has form and God again is formless. It is eternal subject, form and formless. How many ages philosophers are fighting with that? God is saguna or nirguna, sakara or nirakara. But Ramakrishna reconciled everything. It can be saguna, it can be nirguna, it can be akara, it can be nirakara. He gave the example. The ocean is ocean, infinite ocean. But in the ocean, when cold, in deep cold, no, there ice is formed. Ice is akara. Ice is nothing but water. So it may be akara, it may be nirakara. When you, from devotional perspective, you see it is that as a form. In the Jnani's perspective, it is all absolute one. So, which stand you are taking? When you take a devotee stand, then you can see that God has a form, God speaks to you, you pray, God solves your problem, God redeems your suffering, physical ailment. Many people get cured, no? So, yes, God does all these things, God listens. And to a Jnani, everything is changing. It's not the truth. Truth is the absolute. Where is form? There cannot be any form. So, for the Jnani there is no form. For the Bhakta there is a form.
Couldn't God listen and talk without form, or is it an idea of form as kind of quality, not physical form?
Physical form means to the person also he can be physical. Ramakrishna saw physical. Ramakrishna saw that Holy Mother, the Divine Mother Kali, is standing on the open veranda of the temple and watching the holy Ganga flowing. He saw physical like as I see you. But not that you have to keep your mind in that high plateau. Everything is in the level of development of the mind. When the mind merges, then it is nirakara. So long mind does not merge, as we all see form, is it not? We see form. We call it is human form. But it is not human, it is God only. I am seeing through the veil of my ignorance, that's why I am seeing you as a person. But you are not the person, you are God. You are that absolute which has no form. So when within the level of the mind, this form comes. When the mind merges and dissolves, no mind, there is no form. Look at that, even in your dream, you see different people in the dream, your action is. When you go to sleep, what form? When the mind is gone, there is all form is gone. Of course, in sleep we have no other awareness, but when one goes to samadhi, because mind is fully aware, no? Awakened mind. An awakened mind going, and merges into the infinite. Then mind is gone. And that is the time they say that Brahman, the absolute, no form, no name, no time, no space, so all beyond that. So it is two level, which perspective we are looking at. Ramakrishna is to go ply between these two planes all the time. He is to go to samadhi, bas, mind is gone, no form, nothing. Even the body consciousness, body does not exist for him. Doctors couldn't find the body, it is a dead body. No pulse, no heartbeat. And then again coming down, he said, he sometimes will have a deep breath. And then gradually senses come and he starts speaking, I will drink water. Something he says. That means coming to the realm of the mind. Transcended the mind, and that is the nirakara. So that's why it is said Jnani, the knower of analytical minded people, for them God has no form. But for the Bhakta, there is. Ramakrishna said, in the last breath, he told Swami Vivekananda, no? The Naren entered into the room of Ramakrishna, and when Sri Ramakrishna was going to leave the body, just before that, sometime, and then he thought that, he says he is avatara. Avatara means absolute, come down in a human form. But if he can say now that he is avatar, then I can believe that. That was the thought in the mind of Vivekananda, young Naren then. And as soon as he thought like that, and Sri Ramakrishna started responding to the question, "Oh Naren, it is still doubt. He who was Rama, he who was Krishna, he is Ramakrishna, but not according to your Vedanta. See, who came as Rama, that means in the realm of duality, who came as Krishna, the same guy came as Ramakrishna. But if you talk about the form, no. According to Vedanta, there is no coming and going. Who will descend? Absolute One is there. When you take the devotional aspect, then question comes, God appears, God gives vision. Who will give vision to whom? If there is only but one? So, this is the two stands. Okay? Huh?
So, Sri Ramakrishna's prayer you are talking, it's in page 731.
731. Okay. That is gone now. Okay, but better. 731. Yeah, 731. What it says? "O Mother, I throw myself on thy mercy. I take shelter at thy hallowed feet. I do not want bodily comforts. I do not crave name and fame. I do not seek or aid occult powers. Be gracious and grant that I may have pure love for thee, a love unsmitten by the desires, untainted by any selfish ends, a love craved by the devotee for the sake of love alone, and grant me the favor, O Mother, that I may not be deluded by thy world-bewitching Maya, that I may never be attached to the lust and gold conjured up by the inscrutable Maya. O Mother, there is no one but thee whom I may call my own. Mother, I do not know how to worship. I am without austerity. I have neither devotion nor knowledge. Be gracious, Mother, and out of your infinite mercy, grant me love for thy lotus feet." That will be the devotional. Devotee will pray every day. No? I don't want anything but you. But this prayer, if sincere, Mother will show her divine form one day, but not to a jnani. Even if you know, they can come to the jnani, but jnani will say, "I don't want it." I want to see your divine form, absolute form. Because this form it is here, you may disappear again. No. So, but I don't want to get separated, so I shall be eternally one with you. So these are the two attitudes, no? And Jnanis, actually, they are also tuned to the same God consciousness, but not in the form, but in the formless aspect.
Maharaj, what if you attain permanently the personal vision of God continuously?
Oh, that is also true. If they can keep that, and that's not by God's grace, their mind is lifted in such level. Thakur Ramakrishna used to see most of the time that. You see, we read the Gospel, night time, M is in the room of Ramakrishna. He's lying down, sleeping in the floor, and Ramakrishna the whole night does not have sleep. He's clapping his hand, he's going in the samadhi, he's going into ecstasy. So it's a beautiful scene, and where he's flying between the absolute and to the form to the absolute. It's called, what you call, a boat, it's called Bachkhala. What is the English translation? The swinging the boat from one shore to the other shore. No. Speedily, who can do? It's a competition. In this country also there, some river, the boat, rowing boat, who can so reach the other shore, this shore to that shore. So Ramakrishna is to play, one time remaining here, another time remaining there. He has different capacity to go. Ordinary sadhakas cannot do that. Only exceptional, powerful people can do like what Ramakrishna did. No, it is only God can do that. We read the other day, if any ordinary spiritual aspirant reaches that type of height, then and they get stuck there. The mind merges there and not coming down. And in that state, if one remains for 21 days, then he cannot be recovered. He will have to leave the body that way. He will never come back to the body consciousness again. So, that is. But normally, what happens? The spiritual people go and touch that absolute and stay for some time and come back. They are called Jivan Muktas, the people who are free while living in the world. Brahma-jnanis we call them. They will come down and live with us.
This is interesting because that Bach Khela, it's a canoe sprint. Canoe sprint, canoe is in this vertical way. But when you are talking about this consciousness...
That I am taking because I am talking because you know that Saptadha Pranta Bhumi, there are 7 stages of the level of... That's why I am saying. But Bhaskala these are examples. Example, this side is Brahman, this side is Saguna, this side is Nirguna. Ramakrishna swim here in Nirguna and merges for some time. And then come back again and again in the Saguna. From Saguna to Nirguna. It's the whole day this fun is going on.
The canoe sprint.
Yeah.
Saguna Brahma.
Saguna Brahma to Nirguna Brahma, Nirguna Brahma to Saguna Brahma. He can play all the time. But ordinary sadhaka, 1 time, 2 times is enough. Enough for them.
There are questions.
Okay, so no, let me see where we are. Let me finish the paragraph. God has form and again He is formless. Once upon a time, it's the sannyasi story. So the sannyasi saw when he was thinking the nirguna idea, jnani idea, there is no form. And when he is thinking of what is the other, while coming, he saw the form is there. That means, according to the state of mind, God takes the form. But it is extremely difficult to understand this. Naturally, the doubt arises in the mind. If God is formless, how then can He have form? This is our point. If it is light, how it can be dark? No? If it is infinite, how can it be finite? Logically, but logic ends at a point. Look at the infinite sky and the starry sky and calculate how you look the hemisphere, how you look the stars are started here and there, and how much is what you see is all wrong. Say we are in Hollywood, no? I said, think of the globe. The globe? The earth, no? What is the position of the America in the globe? And think, where is the Hollywood? And how we are sitting straight. Are we sitting straight? And we are walking like that. I am thinking I am straight. Really, the mystery, the world is such, no. If you think a little bit, you will be crazy to think about. We all think we are right. I am walking vertical. But you are looking at it. And this is also rotating. And we are thinking that everything is rotating, I am steady. So, this is so long in the realm of Maya, mind. All confusion will remain. Pure mind will only go into that concept of oneness, but that also will end somewhere. So, it is that in God's realm, Ramakrishna said, how can you understand the play of the Lord? What little mind you have. We are thinking of this Hollywood today, this big incident in the freeway has happened. For example, anything has happened. What freeway, what Hollywood, how many Hollywoods are there in the whole world? How many freeways are there, how many accidents are happening? And this whole incident, say, in the earth, and compare with the other planets. Bigger, bigger, bigger. As you go to the bigger, this becomes like a dot. Ultimately, the earth will appear like a dot or non-existing when you go further, the bigger stars and things. And now you think Brahman, Atman, what will you think? All concept is there. We cannot think if you go to the physical universe, and also micro level you go to subconscious, about the subatomic level and go down, infinite world, infinite energy. What is atomic energy? They all go to what is called Higgs boson particle and go down. What is that? Tremendous energy, you cannot even. In the micro and in the macro. Macro and micro both. And Brahman, who will say what? Okay? Okay, Jai Ma. So we end here today, and there are some questions. We'll do that. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Tomorrow whose class? Tomorrow is Thanksgiving.
No class.
Thanksgiving, no class. Yeah. Everyone will have some fun time in home. So, no class tomorrow. So, we have some questions. Oh, our Nishan is there. Nishan, thank you so much for every day. He's very sincere, Baba. When we meet certainly holy people, our minds become uplifted according to their purity. But is there any way of knowing someone is a Brahma-jnani? Or does only a Brahma-jnani know themselves? For instance, Thakur says he will be like a ghoul, a madman, a child of 5, etc. Or once Master demonstrated to him the gate of a Paramahansa. What does that mean? My point is that first question, that we meet many people, but is there any way to know someone who is a Brahma-jnani? Very difficult for us. How do we understand, no? A jeweler can understand the value of the jewel, no? Otherwise someone will give you 5 pounds of garbanjal, eggplants, 5 pounds of eggplants, or 5 pieces of clothing, or 5 pieces of something, 500 rupees. But a jeweler only understands the jewel. So we cannot understand. But this much, according to Vaishnava literature, we can understand this. These holy people, if you are ready, if you are also ready, holy people is not the one side. Understanding is also necessary for a person who has little purity in the heart. If that person goes to a holy man, the Vaishnava statement is that Jahare herile hride sphure Krishna naam tahare janiyo tumi Vaishnava pradhan. You can easily recognize that person. He is a attained person, accomplished in spiritual life, by beholding him. Beholding him or her, your mind will be remembering God and your name will start pouring in your heart. That means that Brahma-jnani is lifted in such a mood that will help our mind to be lifted. Holy man can be understood many ways, but Brahma-jnani I cannot say. It is only the subjective experience, no? I can show. There are so many Brahma-jnanis in the world, no? How many Brahma-jnanis you need in Hollywood or America? Yeah. So everyone can claim. They can make a good group of followers, and on media can spend, and he is getting this illumination, that is getting in illumination. So people run, and with high amount of fees, they go and get Brahma-jnana. But that Brahma-jnana does not stay. After some time it goes away. That's why it is difficult to understand a Brahma-jnani. But they are totally in such a level, another Brahma-jnani may understand that. So, Brahma-jnani can, that's why another Brahma-jnani will be the best person. But we as ordinary people, who are struggling for spirituality, if we come in close contact with this holy man or Brahma-jnani, then we will be uplifted. I have seen such Brahma-jnanis. I do not know whether Brahma-jnanis, how much is there Brahma-jnana. I never had the ability to measure. But this much I can say, that being with them, you don't have to talk about God. Being with them, just they are silent, they are walking, talking, other things also. But when you leave them, then you feel that you are in a very exalted, peaceful position. You do your own meditation, you cannot reach that level of purity, level of peace. That means there is something that man was radiating. We radiate our energy, is it not? Hello, hello. You have a hello, we all have hellos. Energy healing. Once one energy healer came over here and he used to ask the patient to lie down and he will put the hand around and see. He feels the energy level how far. And that means how much greater energy one carries. A holy man will carry more energy. Listen, they also say that. That means the energy is here, but how to feel that, you also need to be prepared for that. Therefore, Ramakrishna said he will be like a ghoul. Anyone ghoul, Brahma-jnani may behave like a ghoul, but a ghoul is not a Brahma-jnani. A madman, Ramakrishna sometimes used to behave in a way, people used to say, he's a mad guy, what he's doing. But a mad guy does not become Ramakrishna. That's the point. So it is very difficult. A child of 5, childlike simplicity, that is a good sign. The Brahma-jnani, they become very childlike, simple. Their mind is not polluted with complications. Now, as our mind is always crooked, no? If you say one thing, I'll make 10 meanings out of that. You have said because of this means this, that means this, and I am creating in my mind all these complications. But holy man will fail to do all these things. They think in a simple way, as a child believes whatever mom said, no? A child, mommy said, he is your uncle. Oh, child believes, my uncle. But we said, why uncle? What is the proof of that uncle? So, that's the point. That's another question. The ghosts which met Sri Ramakrishna, oh my, at Golab, I responded to this probably. Gopal's mass place, why did not they request him to liberate them instead of requesting him to leave them alone? That is also, your question is right. If God comes before us today, just now, and wants to give us liberation, will we be all ready to ask for liberation? Or we shall say, okay, I have this problem of my life, please solve that problem first. Ramakrishna gave that example, no? There is one old widow lady, she has nobody in the world, so she used to bring some firewood from the forest and carry in the heavy load and sell in the market, and with that sell, get some little money, and that is the way she used to survive. But she used to say always, oh, everyone dies, but God has kept me like this, and there is no escape from this life. I want to get out of this life. And one day God was so kind, he heard the cry of the lady, and she appeared before that old lady. And said, let's come with me. She said, no, I didn't call you for that. Today's load is too heavy. I cannot lift on my head alone. So you please help me to put the load on my head. Understand the point? We don't want freedom. We don't want liberation. It's a pure mind will only seek for God. You see, we are giving the class here in a Hollywood, and go 3 blocks down. Young boys all thronging there. Why none of them here? Because they have their own choice of liking thing, and The spiritual people will have liking for something, but they are very rare. That's why to seek, Ramakrishna said, people cry a jug full of tears for anything mundane in loss or anything in the world, no? Who cries for God? That is the point. What the ghost? We are the ghost. If God comes before us, we may ask, no, I don't want you. I want my solution. Make me a big guy. Make me a famous guy. I'll be known to many people. How many desires, how many cravings are there? So, for the ghosts to ask Ramakrishna to rescue them would be good ghosts. They are called, their sadhaka ghosts should be there. They are ordinary ghosts. So they don't care for God realization. They want for their immediate problems to solve, immediate questions to it. And an anonymous question. How can God be creator, sustainer and destroyer if God is one with his creation? That's why it is said Vedanta, God, your question is, how can God be creator, sustainer and destroyer if God is one with his creation? Yes, if God is one with his creation, that is a stand of, it is called the Vijnanavad, or you can say that it is after realization you can feel that. Before realization, it is not so. Creator, there is somebody, it's a logic. This house is here. There is a creator. Somebody has planned to create this. Creator, creation. And that creation of the temple has come up. Creator, creation and destroyer. Sometime it will happen. If the building becomes too old and we cannot repair anymore, we demolish it to rebuild something. So three aspects should be there. If you look at the creation side, no? But when you reach, through meditation and spiritual practice, reach that absolute Brahman, and you come back, then you see everything is permeated by one consciousness. Then there is, who is creator? Brahman is creator. Who is created? Brahman is created. And who will destroy? Is Brahman. There is nothing but one. So, that his question, that how can he penetrate into this creation? He does not, that creation is not there. In ignorance you are seeing creation. And if you come down from that level, then you can see the world like the gold and the ornaments. Ornament of different size you can find, different design you can find, but it is all gold. Kathopanishad says, Agni Rijataikang Bhuvanang Pravishya, as the fire entering into the earth, no? In the different objects, gets the color, different color. Fire with the wood will be one color, one type of wood will be one color, another type of wood will be another color. Oil, you put oil into the fire, that color will be little different, no? So, but fire is the only one. Heat and light is this characteristic of the fire. So though one, but it takes different shape and size. So that is the way the creator, creation and destruction, those questions come. But after attaining that Brahma-jnani, when you come back, you can see this, but it is, you know, so long the mind is there, you see this distinction. When the mind is dissolved in God, then there is no creator, no creation, and no destruction. So, God be the creator, sustainer and destroyer. If you take that stand, you are taking the dualistic stand. And in that dualistic stand, yes, creation is there, destruction is going to happen. One somebody has created. But when you really see that these three are one force of Brahman, Satchidananda, same everywhere, then there is no creator, there is no creation. You are not there, I am not there, world is not there. Where is creator? Where is creation?
Who is asking this question?
Who is asking this question? He is also not there. It is all only one and absolute. Okay?
But someone think that there are ghosts? What do you believe?
Oh, of course I believe in ghosts. Yeah, why not? A simple thing. Simple thing, when you die, don't you become a ghost? You remain in the subtle body. Only those subtle body finishing normal death, they, because of their karma, they go to the next birth. No, move to the Chandraloka, to Meghaloka, and to the other planets. Okay? But suppose I am to live another 10 years in this body, but I committed suicide. Then 10 years I should have been in the world. But someone has committed the body is not there. So he wants to fulfill his desire through another body. That's why people say, oh, she is possessed by ghost. That means that mind is softer mind. This ghost personality enters into the mind of that and makes that person do whatever that ghost mind wants to do. That's why they don't behave like that. When one is possessed by ghost, it is scientific. If my mind is overpowered by some other mind, because I am a weak guy, and he wants to eat something, I don't want to eat. This body does not. But he possesses this body and forces me to go and do things like that. That's called possess. That's the ghost works through others' body. And when they don't get to enter any body, they remain roam around. That's a very painful state. You want to drink water, but you have no mouth. Suppose that man or woman have not committed suicide or committed some unusual, mainly suicide. Accidental, I cannot say no. Maybe I do not know. But the main thing is that I would have lived another 10 years, another 1 month, say. But I have no body. And we do get every day breakfast. So where shall I eat? Where is the mouth? I see all food is here, in the kitchen or somewhere. But I have no mouth to eat. I have no hand to eat. I can see this smell. That's why they say the smell. Subtle body. Like the dream body. In the dream you have a body. You remain in that body. But you have to eat good food, gross food. Dream water you can drink in dream body. But can you, in the dream person, can drink this body, 1 glass of water if I give? They cannot. Tomorrow turkey. Can a man, a man or woman who in the body, had been in the body, I suppose somebody committed suicide, but he had been in the body, he would have a turkey. And the desire comes, I will eat the turkey. But where is the mouth? No mouth. Food is there. What a painful thing. You have desire and things are there, but you cannot enjoy. That's why it is called, one should not commit suicide.
But maybe there's some things they were spared that they were suffering.
Now they can have subtle something, but not gross.
But just maybe if they were suffering while they were alive, they got some.
Oh yeah. No, that they did to escape, but it didn't escape them, rather it becomes more painful because other sufferings come. That's why in every scripture they say that this is not good because, yes, you are right, because of some unavoidable, impossible condition they cannot bear anymore, so they commit suicide or do something. I'm not going to that area, but I'm saying whatever they do, still they had been in the physical body for some period, and they have no body of their own. So they only can have prarabdha karma. To finish that prarabdha karma, they want to find some person, some people or some embodied being through which they can satisfy their desires. Anyhow, I am also talking, what do I know? It may be different, but it makes logical. This argument makes me understand it's logical. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.